Alrighty, how we doing everyone? Welcome to Blue Stake Trading. So we're going to be doing some futures scalping here tonight and going to be inviting some people here from a Facebook group chat to see if anybody can join. See what happens. So I'm going to just share the link. So here we go. We are going to hopefully make some money tonight. We'll see what, if anyone's able to join, we'll see how it goes. So hopefully somebody can. We'll see what happens. Hopefully make some money tonight, learn some things, have a good time. That's the goal. So we just passed the 9 o'clock hour here in Colorado. So we're gonna start getting a little bit of market action hopefully. And we're gonna see if we can get some good trade setups, make a little bit of money. So it looks like the market is kind of creating a bottom here right around that support level of 4,500. So last night it blew through that to the downside a little bit by a few points. Today during the market hours it keeps making lower lows. So at some point tonight we could anticipate the possibility of lower lows. But we'll see what happens. We will see what happens. So what I'm looking at right now, just to kind of give you an idea, is the daytime trading hours. We made sequential lower lows compared to the nighttime hours. So nighttime we were down to like 44.97, and then during the market today we came down to 44.92 on the futures. So that generally indicates that we're going to have some more weakness tonight potentially. The futures is starting its roll, so we're starting to see higher volume, which generally as volume upticks, you're getting some down moves in the marketplace. So right around 9 I was looking at entering some long positions, but it looks like we've already moved up a few points. So might need to be patient before we go ahead and enter long. I'm looking at the Stochastics indicator on the 1 minute time frame, and that's already starting to peak. So the MACD crossed. I'm going to pull up my active trader screen here, kind of go over my bracket orders that I'm going to be doing. So target with brackets. So I started off the night usually just to see how things are going, where I'm trying to scalp one ES point in either direction. You can see here the buy power requirement is 12,650, and I'm not going to enter it there, but we'll just be patient here and give it a few moments. So that's to enter one futures contract. That's how much buying power you need on Thinkorswim TD Ameritrade's platform. There's another one, Ninja Trader, where you only need 500. So that's great for smaller accounts. And then also futures don't require, there's no pattern day trading. So what I'm looking for right now, and just kind of go through my chart setup here again, I know that this is pretty busy here, and for that I apologize. But what we've got is the MACD histogram is on the screen here, and it's kind of cluttering up my view, so I'm going to just minimize this a little bit. I might actually even make it bigger just so it's more out of the way. Move the price just a little bit. Go that other way, make it bigger. And then we'll pull it down just so that way we can kind of see everything together. So these dots here, when it's going in green, it means the MACD histogram is strengthening. The lines are diverging. as it starts to fall and head towards zero, that's where the MACD crosses the signal line. So still bullish, price is moving up pretty good. On the, switch over here to my top right screen, and this is a 30-minute chart. So looking at this, we are in a downtrend still on the 30-minute, and it's just crazy how this upper resistance line has just truly been followed. So if we can break out above this, this market's going to rally quite a bit. So if we come up above this line here, we're going to probably come up and test the highs of the day into the 45.15 range. And then we could even come up and start chopping into where we started the actual trading week here on Tuesday, and come up to probably about 45.20. Likewise, we're probably going to respect this downtrend as futures continue to roll and volume is increasing. So my guess is we're going to come test this line again and then fall back down and make a lower low. We're probably going to want to test this gap in the volume profile, and I would anticipate to see kind of where we came into this daytime session, probably the low 44.90 range. And if we fall below that, where I anticipate that we're going to reverse is at the 44.80 level. So chances are we'll see that not in the time that I'm trading. That'll probably come closer to 1 a.m. Mountain Time, and that's with the open of the international markets. So then on this next chart here, this is the 5-minute, and this was kind of the trend line last night that I was playing my trades around. So this trend line here, I would say was pretty well respected, and then I set up my sell orders right here below that trend line, hoping that that would break. If you can see this, we're starting to develop a fairly decent downtrend channel. So I'm just going to keep that same line slope. You can kind of see this downtrend that we're heading in. So as soon as we broke that, we're really doing, the market's doing a great job of respecting this downtrend. And historically speaking, the month of September is a weaker month. So it's somewhat common to see that weakness occurring. I'm going to really look for some breaks and kind of where I think price tonight is going to head. I feel fairly strongly that at some point in the overnight session we're going to see this 44.90 level. So what I'm hoping to see in the next hour or so is that we test this upper channel and then we start to fall, and if that occurs, then we'll be entering and going short maybe 1, maybe 2, maybe 3 ES contracts, and then I'll be looking to buy to cover somewhere around this 44.90 level. That's kind of the trade plan tonight that I'm seeing, kind of the setup. We'll see what ends up happening, what ends up making the most sense. Let's see. All right, we got, hey Lana, how's it going? I'm not sure how long the delay is, but just want to let you know I see that you're in here, so I appreciate you joining. So Lana, if you have any questions, feel free to type them in the chat. I'll be able to see them as we're going, and I'll do my best to be able to give you the best answers that I have. So just in case you didn't hear me at the main time, I'm working on multiple monitors. So this this is 3 different time frames that I'm looking at over here. And this is a really wide monitor I have, so sorry it probably looks super small on your screen, but just know we're kind of watching this downtrend, this down channel. And then last night we were scalping based off of this shorter term uptrend. And so kind of the way market statistics work is I do a lot of volume profile studying. So if you just kind of look here at where price reverses, one, it respects channels, but secondly, it also respects and generally reverses on low points in the volume profile. So that's how I can somewhat anticipate when the market is going to be turning. And I posted in the group chat some of my trades from last night, but basically I went long here on this bottom channel after I was down a little bit, and then I bought to cover, I sold to cover it up here at the top end of the channel, and then I set up some limit orders down below this channel in case it broke through, and luckily I was able to hear my notification go off, so I was able to wake up and then buy to cover it here at the low of the overnight session. So that all worked out pretty well. Normally I kind of sleep right through my alarms, but I normally don't go to bed with any open positions, but last night I did. Lana, what kind of trading do you do? Do you do options, stocks, futures? I'm trading right now the ES S&P 500, the E-mini. If you want to type in there if you do stocks, options. I don't know, some people do bonds maybe. So I'm going to go to this other, my top left screen here, and kind of walk through this chart. I know it's pretty busy, and it's some people look at that and say, oh man, you're crazy. Okay, nice, SPX. Oh, that's great. So market profile. So let me clean this screen up just so that way we can see the market profile a little bit better. I'm going to turn off the MACD profile. Give this a second to reload here. So I'm going to zoom out on the 1 day, hopefully. I'm going to just switch this over to the 5 minutes so we can see a little bit wider view. So I'm going to go to the 5-day, 5-minute chart here. So you can see all my active trades on here right now, so hopefully that's not making it too cluttered, but let me see, I'm going to turn that off. So volume profile, stocks, okay, I see these trade stocks, so what I'm showing here, it's the same for stocks and SPX and the ES futures. So pretty much all, I mean, even cryptos, I don't trade crypto, but pretty much all price reflects this volume profile. And so how I was taught to look at it is to think of this like a Christmas tree. So price is going to chop where there's high volume profile. So wherever you see like high volume profile, that's where the price spent most of the day. And the psychology behind that, let's see, I see the market profile thin is traded in that area more or less. So if it's thin, that's where the price does not trade a lot in. So wherever you see market profile thin, that's where market makers are generally not hedging. And also there's not a lot of institutional traders trading at those price levels. And so it generally occurs for a variety of reasons, but for the most part it's market maker hedging. So anywhere that there's low volume, it's because the price didn't trade through there very often. So right here, just looking at this overnight session here, you can see that the price rebounded as soon as it got to that low point, and then it shot back up, and then it tested it again. And because there's such little volume and hedging activity right there, the price just blasted right through on the open here. And so overnight session volume is generally a lot lower. So for the most part, you see less price action. Daytime opens and closes obviously is when you get the most dramatic price action, which I'm sure you've seen trading the SPX. So what I'm looking for is on the volume profile. This is the composite over the time frame that I have combined. So on this one, I have the 5 minute, 5 day up right now. And so this is only compiling over a 5 day period. But what I'm looking for is anywhere that we have low points, like this is where price wants to come and test. So I would say if we were to break out of this downtrend, like we're going to come up and test this 45.20 level. And the reason I anticipate that is because that's where we have a low market profile level. If we get some bullish news, then what the market's going to want to come and test is this 45.40 level. So if you look at price action kind of over a long period of time, the market always wants to come and fill in these gaps, because if you look at it like a standard deviation curve, the price really wants to fill in the middle with about 68% of the trading volume, and then the two outer extremes would have the remaining like roughly 20% on each side. It's a little bit less than that, but 15%, 16%, something like that. So tonight, what I'm anticipating happening is we're going to come likely test this upper channel and then pull back down. So I'm going to switch back to the 1 minute. And I thought I had it preset up to do more than 1 day. But anyways, here's the overnight market profile. I'm going to try and set this up to have more than 1 day. I'm going to go to 10 days. It's going to take a second to load. I'm going to check something out real quick. Lana, have you ever traded futures or ever considered looking at futures? I don't know if that is something that has interest to you at all. I can kind of explain like the different leverage options in that. Let's see here. All right, so market's moving down. Let's see, if we make a lower low on the overnight session, then chances are we're going to come and test this 44.98 level. And so what I'm surprised by is that we don't have more buyers piling up into the level 2. There we go, there's the buyers. So usually I'm looking for where there's strong support zones. And so these like 150 orders right here kind of stands out. Okay, nice. So you're in Canada, so your margin is very high. Okay, awesome. Gotcha. Yeah, I know some accounts here in the US, depending on kind of if you're on portfolio margin or whatnot, can kind of determine your leverage, but I know it's different internationally, so I'm not too familiar with Canada, but the reason most people trade futures is because like one contract that requires $12,000 of buying power is you're controlling 50 shares of an instrument that's trading at 4,500. So I'll bust out my calculator here and see what that equals. Times 50. So that's $225,000. So one contract that I trade is equivalent to $225,000. Okay. So you do spread trades with ES and NQ. How did that work out? Did you follow like a guru guide, or did you go short one and long the other, or how did you arbitrage ES NQ? I'm kind of curious. I know it's kind of hard to type in the chat, but So I'm going to switch here to my 3 screen. Used to. Gotcha. I'm sure there's a reason you don't do it anymore. So one thing I'm looking at right now, this is one of my other monitors, and I've got, like I said, the 30-minute, the 5-minute, and then over off to the further side, I've got the 1 minute. And so I'm looking here. Nice, an algo with calculations and an alert system. Oh, that sounds awesome. Yeah, I do at international brokers. I don't do it too much right now because I can't do futures there, but I used to do some algo trading with the platform kind of plug-in option that they had with SPY, but I don't know. I didn't enjoy it very much, I guess. That sounds like you do some advanced stuff if you're setting up algos. Gotcha. Yeah, the correlation was different. Yeah, today it's kind of all unfortunately the same with how heavily weighted big tech is in both the SPX and the NASDAQ. What year were you trading that, Lana? Was that like the mid-2000s, 2015 era, I'm kind of thinking, before things kind of got so heavily weighted into big tech? So here's the price. Like this is where this is going to come and trade down to, is this 44.98 level. So I'm going to go ahead and enter my bracket order just to kind of start the night, to see how things are going. I'm going to go ahead and sell right below this level. And like I said, 12,650 of buying power is what this trade is going to cost. So I don't know what futures cost in Canada, but that's what it is here in the US. Yeah, 9 to 11, okay. Yeah. I know. I started, when I was a kid, I used to trade back in the late 90s. So I started in like 98. So I saw the whole melt up 98, 99, and then I saw the dot-com crash. And then, you know, we got back to even by the financial crisis, and then lived through that whole crash and traded through that. And then COVID last year was interesting. So we just got filled. So my kind of price assumption is here that this market is going to keep moving down pretty quickly until we reach kind of this mid-level, the volume profile. That's kind of my hypothesis here. So we'll see what happens. I just got filled again, so that was a fairly easy $50. I can hear my phone dinging behind me before the computer catches up to it. So somehow the mobile app is about 5 seconds ahead of the desktop version. So it says that it's real time and live trading, but it's not. 20K now per contract. And that's for ES, 20K for ES. So I'm thinking that this market is probably going to bounce somewhere at this low volume node. So I think, and this is just my opinion, I think this market is going to bounce right now. We've tested this low volume node, and let's see if my theory is right on that. One thing I look at too, I don't know if you trade RSI, it's a pretty common indicator, a lot of people do. So most people have it set up at the 70 level and the 30 level. Oh shoot. Sorry, I had my wrong screen up the whole time. You missed my trade setup that I entered in there. I apologize about that, but we did make $50 on that first trade that I entered. So I'll put the trades back up on the screen so you can see what I did. I apologize, I thought I had my active trader screen. So I went short at 44.9875, and then I covered 1 point lower. Okay, so you don't use RSI. Yeah, no worries. Anyways, sorry, I got sidetracked, but I was explaining that I have it set up a little bit different than most people do. So it's still charting the exact same way, but I have it turn red when it goes below 50, which means that we're in a downtrend. And then when it goes green, it just means that we're in an uptrend. So it's kind of one little thing that I guess I do differently maybe than what most traders set it up as. So I'm going to just zoom in here a little bit so we can see this a little bit cleaner. So I would say it didn't respect the volume profile perfectly. I would have maybe anticipated it to bounce somewhere in closer to the lowest point here. It's usually where it reverses, but it's crazy how price likes to come and test these low points. It's kind of like a magnet, but then yes, so I would say all the technical indicators are lagging. So I would agree, RSI lags, and then let's see here. I use also basically everything that I'm trading with is a price oscillator. So these are updating in live time. So once the bar chart closes is where the final level is going to be. But yeah, I would say all of these are lagging indicators. There's nothing that I'm aware of, unless you know of anything that kind of is predictive. The one thing that I think is somewhat predictive is something like a squeeze indicator, and that can just kind of see when price is getting squeezed and somewhat anticipate a large move. Yeah. Now, a lot of people do say, hey, just look at price and price only. And I totally understand where they're coming from with that. I guess for me, I've been maybe a crazy man. I've been looking at this same setup for almost 2 years, or excuse me, 20 years. So to me, I see it, and like I guess my brain just kind of absorbs it all at once. And by trading futures, I don't really trade during market hours. I prefer to trade during the overnight session. So I'm in the mountain time zone, so I like to trade 9 p.m. mountain time to 1 a.m. mountain time. And the reason for that is just that price action moves a lot slower. So my brain is able to kind of absorb this mess that I have going on of so many things. I'm glad you think the market profile is useful. Which charting software do you use? Do you use Thinkorswim or a different platform for charting? Yeah, and the reason I like market profile is because it, it's price action. So it doesn't, it's not a lagging indicator or anything that is somewhat subjective. It's representative of where price was and for how long it was there. Toss an IB. Okay, nice. So yeah, if you're at IB, yeah, IB sucks. No, it does, but it has some perks that makes it worth having an account there. I have my account there, but yeah, API there is what it's all about, especially if you're doing algo trades. So the auto trading I use for equities is called Capitalize AI. I'll type it in there, Capitalize AI. And that's what I algo traded my equities with, but I just don't really like equities, to be honest. Once I switched over to futures, it's kind of all I like to trade is futures or index products. I'm not really into equities. What are you writing your own code for your algo trading, or are you using like kind of a software program? All right, so right now we're about to see the MACD cross here, and this is generally speaking a very bullish shape. So I think we're going to start to see pretty good price action to the upside. I wouldn't be surprised if we come up and come back to this 4502 level. This is kind of where I'm anticipating the market to move right now. Yeah, this is generally speaking a very bullish MACD shape, and I'm fairly confident that we're going to see a large run up here. One thing is, once we start to head into these larger profit zone or profile zones, is we'll start to see some chop. So the speed of the market will start to occur. So it's funny, we're pretty much right back to where, almost to where I went short to start this little downtrend here. And then, can't say that I pinned the bottom exactly, but did pretty decent at the 97.75 level. Yeah, so the blue line on my chart here, so this is the Bollinger Bands, and so the blue line is the mid line, so I definitely agree, it's going to go to the blue line. So linear regression, when you say that, are you talking about like mean reversion? I guess I'm not too experienced with linear regression. I know typing that out might be kind of complicated. Maybe I should just Google it, but is linear regression like mean reversion? So kind of what you're saying here, it going back to the blue line? I'm going to Google it. I also use Scalped. I'm not familiar with what Scalped is. Is that a study? I'm going to look that up. Scalped. I've never heard of that. Keltner channels? Give that a try. Okay, yeah, it looks similar. I'm gonna mute my Bollinger Bands and see what your Scalped is showing here. Let that reload. Nice. So then I'm looking at this kind of how these Scalped lines are a little bit tighter. I'm wondering if this is almost more representative of like one standard deviation move, whereas the Bollinger Band setup that I had on the screen before was a 2 standard deviation move. Yeah, see, this is where I'm assuming, Lana, you've watched Aaron's videos, and he has a really good appetite for risk. And sometimes I wish that I had that same appetite for risk because, you know, I was somewhat anticipating that the market would do what it did, come and test this low point and then bounce back up, and that's kind of what happens. Represent volatility. Okay, gotcha. Yeah, I wonder what that looks like on like a daily time frame. I'm gonna switch this over to a 1 year, 1 day time frame. Yeah, that totally makes sense. I like it. Nice. Well, I learned something new. I appreciate you sharing the Celt with me. I'm gonna set this up better. So I just added this to see the 10-day, 1 minute. It's gonna do some crazy funky loading. I'm gonna switch screens here. So this is going back here to the 30-minute chart. We're still in a downtrend. 5 minute is still in a downtrend. The 1 minute is getting pretty strong. So we can see here on the 1 minute, this MACD is starting to go, this Stochastic is starting to roll over. So I'm thinking that we might not make it quite to the level that I was thinking right away in one move, but we're definitely in an uptrend on the 1 minute. Let's switch back over to my Bollinger Bands. Alright, let me see here. When it shoots down below the lower line or upper line, on trend it stays with either upper or lower. Okay, gotcha. Nice. I like learning something new. I'm gonna need to study that more tomorrow during the day and understand it a little bit better. I like it though. I appreciate you showing me. You called it. It moved to the blue line. So then if I turn the MACD histogram back on, and you said earlier you don't like to have too much on the screen, so this might just drive you nuts now. So let me know if it just is too overwhelming, but so you can see here once the price starts to stagnate like this, and then we start getting these red dots, generally the price is going to start to roll back over. It's not exact, but I still believe that we're going to come and test this level up here. I really wish I would have gone long down at the bottom there where I was thinking price would reverse. See, my guess is, so kind of like I said earlier, and not that it's going to be for sure, I've said some different variations, but because this has this shape right here, I'm thinking we're going to spend some time chopping in this zone. That's kind of my anticipation, and then I think we are going to test this low volume node right here, and then probably head back down is my thought process. In TOS, I use the linear regression trend line. I'm gonna add that one. Linear regression trend line. Oh, I see it there. Let's take a look here and see what this is. Did I put that in wrong? Linear regression trend line. Show study color red. I'm gonna just change the color so maybe I can see it better. Orange. Okay. Let's see, I wonder what I did wrong. Linear regression channel 50. Okay, let me switch over to that. So I added the 50, the 100, and then I'm going to add the curve. Alright, let's give this, I'm going to turn these other ones off. Just so it's not as busy. Why did I not see the red? There's several studies available. Yeah, it looks like the blue line, which is the 50, is showing. Linear regression channels. I wonder why I can't see the other ones though. That's interesting to me. There's several linear regression variants. I'm gonna try the reversal too and see what we get. Oh, there we go. The reversal. I see this. I like this. So we're in a bullish pattern, and then we're in a downtrend. Here we're in a downtrend, and then we're in an uptrend. I like it. I like the reversal. Channel's cool, so you don't need to draw. Yeah. Yeah, the channel. Pretty much sounds like I need to add all of them. Reversal. Alright, I think I have them all added now, so let's see what happens. Here's the slope. So it seems to follow kind of the, okay, I see that. So it's basically following this same channel, it's plotting it down here. I like these. Yeah, no, I enjoy, I appreciate you showing and pointing those out because I like to kind of understand what other experienced traders are doing to see if it's something that makes sense to me. I like this, I like both of these because this is telling us right now, hey, we're in a downtrend. Even though price is chopping right here, it's heading downwards, so it seems fairly predictive. Do you use MACD at all? I can't remember if I asked that. So last night it was interesting when I woke up kind of in the middle of the night to watch these trades. The 4,500 level even had just a ton of support right there. And it doesn't seem like we're really respecting that in the same way tonight. I like the linear regression slope. No longer. Yeah, I'm guessing it didn't like the MACD because it does give a lot of false signals. Like right now, this shape right here looks to me like it's gonna trap some people. But then again, I look at the linear regression slope, and I know I haven't been looking at this long, but this is indicating to me a pretty good downtrend. On the reversal, we're still in the downtrend. But to me, this is a potential fake out on the MACD. I don't like how this shape is, and like I said, I'm kind of weird. I've been looking at this for so long, but I think that this is going to be a fake out. Well, let's see what happens here. I might be wrong on that, but I think this is going to be a fake out to the downside. It's going to cross, and then I think we're going to keep bouncing and keep heading up. Well, maybe I'm just stuck in my mind, but I think I really want to see the price get up to this 4502 level. Yeah, there we go. Let's see if this thing bounces up. Curious to see what happens. Gosh, I had the wrong screen on again. I'm sorry. I was kind of walking through what I was seeing. I'm gonna move my camera feed here to the middle. Sorry, I was walking through this MACD shape on the 1 minute, and I was explaining that I think that this right here looks like a fake out to me on the MACD. I think it's gonna bounce higher still. The regression curve is magic. Why do I not see the curve? Yeah, MACD's lagging. And there it is. I had a feeling that this was going to be a fake out. Let's see if it follows through and price goes up. I didn't like the shape of this, and so that's kind of something I'm used to seeing. False crossovers. It didn't technically cross all the way over, but it got close to. Why do I not see the curve? Let's see, it's this blue line. Alright, maybe that's the one that I am seeing. I'm gonna change the color to yellow. Okay, so that is the one that I'm seeing. There it is, look at price going up. I do like this linear regression. Everything I'm seeing on it right now, it seems to do a pretty good job. Yeah, there a few minutes ago, I was showing the wrong screen, but yeah, I did not like the way that this MACD curve was showing, so I need to just start trusting some of my trade setups here. Have some more confidence. Pull the trigger. Gotcha, Canadian version of toss. Alrighty, let's see here. I'm gonna set up a bracket order, and I think I want to go long. We've got the curve is going up. I want to wait for the stochastic to turn up. But right now, I feel like I don't know. I think we're either gonna chop it. I think we might be heading up. I'm feeling kind of bullish right now. Let's see if we get filled. Type linear, see what comes up. Okay, I'm gonna check linear. There's linear. I pretty much have all these turned on right now. So I think I'm doing it right. I think. Let me know if you see if you're seeing anything that I'm missing. I appreciate you showing me this. See if I can get filled. I don't know that's gonna happen though. No. Go to edit on curve and make it bolder white. Okay, I'll do that. Definitely a lot easier to see. Appreciate you telling me to do that. Expand it a bit. Okay, yeah, I can see it being predictive there, like you're saying. So we just got filled at the 4,500 level. Of course, right now I'm starting to think that this might not be bullish like I wanted it to be. Let's see what happens though. Yeah, the stochastic slow is starting to roll over, and the histogram is about to go negative, so we might have a losing trade here, but let's see what happens. The linear regression is also pointing down. Change candles to hike in. Let me give that a shot. Yeah, I think this one is not going to be a winning trade. Let's see what happens though. Well, the linear regression down here is still pointing somewhat up, flat to up, so I have some hope, I guess. Oh. Let's see, are we going to hold this? Let's see. So now the candle is under curve and it is red. Yeah, this to me right now, this is looking like it's gonna probably side chop for a little bit longer, but I think we're gonna get stopped out here on a loss. Let's see what happens though. See, now the candle is under curve and is red. If price will go above curve, it is up action. Okay, gotcha. Yeah, I see what you're saying. I'm kind of watching this here, so I see these candles here are above the curve. So like you said, it's up action. Candles start to fall below the curve, which indicates then down action. So I think I get night action, nothing is going on. Yeah. That and this is why I'm kind of a weird trader. Is I like the night action being just so slow. It's it's kind of easy to do this 1 point spread. All right, there we go. We got price action above the line. So that might be a bullish indicator, right? Might be in all right shape. All right, I get it. I'm learning. I appreciate you teaching me something new. Let's go. Let's stay above the line. There we go. I mean, it's only $50, but I like learning, so I appreciate you showing me. There we go. I'm curious, which like service do you follow to learn? Is there like a Theo Trade or Tasty Trade, or what service do you watch to learn some of these? Yeah, the MACD is dead. It's just sitting there doing nothing. So indecisive in this chop. All right, we got two green candles above the linear regression. So I suppose that's a good sign. Let's see what happens here. And what amazes me is, so normally, I don't know what my screen looks like, but so it's 10:04 Mountain Time here. And normally at the kind of the 30-minute and the 1 hour like even marks is when we get a little bit more price action in the overnight session. So I'm amazed that it's just sitting here and chopping. Here we go. Got the channels going up again. Let's see, I also have a channel on the actual screen, so it draws channel for me. Yeah, that's why I'm not sure what I was doing wrong with these 50 channel. I don't know if it's because it's on close. Let's see, what do I have wrong here? Inputs, price, close. That makes sense. Show study. Show plot. Let me just make it bolder, I guess. Upper. Alright, we just got a notification. I'm gonna make just the lines bigger, maybe. I don't think that's why I'm not seeing it, but it's interesting. 12 is maintenance time. Gotcha. So I'm thinking you might be East Coast time frame. I'm gonna turn the Celt channels back on so that way we can see that. Keltner channels. There's the Keltner channels back on. Yeah, this has been some boring price action. Jeez, we're moving around like 25 cents one way or another. Celt I find more sensitive. Gotcha. See on the left how it overshot. Yeah. Yeah, I see what you're talking about right here. So is it a normal trend that when price falls below the Celt that it continues a downtrend? And then if the Celt closes, or if the price action closes above the Celt, is that a bullish indicator? Let me scroll back in time and kind of see. Okay, yeah, I can kind of see that here. Price fell below the Celt, pretty hard downtrend. Price went above the Celt, a little bit of a run up. I'm gonna look during the market hours, probably get a little bit better sampling. Let's see, that is the setup of reversal. Use 2 standard deviation. Let me change that setup. You do change the factor to 2 maybe? Upper band. Useful with market profile. Factor 2, okay, yeah, I'm gonna change that then. Yeah, it looks like we might get stopped out here. Let's go look at the trade. Not looking good. Let's see what's going on. I think we're gonna get stopped out. Be back to 0, but negative with commissions tonight. Just so slow. Price is not moving. Got stopped out. Yeah, Jesus, price action has been slow. Kind of interested to see here when price is following. I guess historically it looks like it should be done a downtrend then. 5-minute chart that I'm looking at on my other screen, it looks like it's getting ready to potentially reverse back up, but let's see. If the 5-minute was still heading down, I would go short right now, but I'm going to be patient for a minute. So it looks like somebody in our Aaron Zero DTE chats saying that they're thinking that price action is going to head to 44.72. So I'm curious on the volume profile if that 44.72, what that looks like. Let's take a look. So he's saying 44.72. Yeah, it's definitely a possibility. Let's take a look here. Yeah, definitely a possibility. I could see that happening, coming to fill this gap here. Let's see here. Sorry for the crazy screen movement. So this is the 30-minute chart. And so somebody in our group chat said, you're thinking 44.60? Let's see what that looks like. Yeah, it's not even on the profile on this last. Let me extend the time frame. Go to the 20-day 1 hour. I'm gonna look at what that looks like. Let's see the 44.60. So will you do a spread trade, or how will you trade that downtrend to 44.60? Because I definitely agree, especially with options expiration coming up and September weakness historically. I think you're definitely right. We're going to see some downside price action. Yeah, I think we're going to definitely come and test these levels. I think you're right. Question is, do we do that tomorrow or Friday? 44.60. I'm curious how you select your levels. Is that looking at deltas? You bought a put. I'm gonna pull up. It's definitely hard to know. September 17th. Yeah. So you did option expiration. That's definitely a good move. I'm definitely with you on that. I'm gonna go here, take a look at those. Let's see, September 17th is 9 days away. See what strike you did. looks like somewhere around a 30 delta. I'm guessing is what you might have bought. Let's see what strike. I look at doing a spread right now. 44.80 to 44.70. Curious what you think of this spread right here. Let's see if I can get filled for $2 on this. Let's see here. Looks good, let's send it. Thinking that might be a decent little spread trade. Let's see what happens. I think we might work out alright. We'll see. You never know. I assume you'll let your position go to expiration. So I'm thinking around the 30-minute mark here is when we're going to get some movement. And And I'm not sure if it's algo traders that trade on a 30-minute. Time to go to sleep. No worries. Good night. Appreciate you showing me some new things. I'll save this setup with regression, the linear regression. Option expiration. Down pressure. Here we go. Heading down again. Looks like we might be retesting these lows. Let's get in this. Alright, let's see. Let's get some. We got quite a bit of down action right now. Let's see what happens here. It will be interesting. Let's see what happens. Oh, we're bouncing. shut the stream down. Y'all have a great evening.